So welcome to Nursing Practice Questions by NRSNG. We call it NPQ for short. Are you 100% certain that you're going to pass the Nclex? What's up? My name is John Hawes, RN CCRN with NRSNG.com. You've just spent years going through your nursing program and you can almost see the light at the end of the tunnel. In just a little while you'll be graduated and you'll be able to practice as a real nurse. But you just have one roadblock in your way, the Nclex exam. Did you know that 16.5% of nursing students fail the Nclex on their first attempt? So if you don't pass on that first try, your chances of passing drop dramatically. Every day you delay the Nclex or every time you fail the Nclex, you're not only losing time, you're losing money. Think about it this way, if your starting nursing salary is $25 to $30 an hour, every month you don't take the Nclex, you're losing out on between $5,000 and $10,000. So what is the best way to ensure that you pass the Nclex on the first time? The answer to that is simple: practice. Practicing Nclex questions, practicing as many of them as you can, and practicing as many as you can that are similar to actual Nclex questions. Look, if you want to get better at anything, you practice. If you want to become better at piano, you practice. If you want to get better at Nclex questions, you practice. That's why at NRSNG.com we're giving you our bank of Nclex questions. We want you to pass, we want you to succeed, and the best way to do that is practice. Practice, practice, practice. That's what you're going to do on the floor as a nurse too. If you want to get better at starting IDs, you practice. We have one goal at NRSNG.com. It is to give you the tools and the confidence that you need to succeed in nursing school, on the Nclex, and in life. So let me dive into NPQ and show you around and show you how this is going to help you in your studies. All right, guys, let's dive in really quick to nursing practice questions. We like to call it NPQ for short, but let's dive in here and show you exactly what you can do with this. You go into your account at nrsng.com and you're going to be able to see nursing practice questions. What you can do when you land there is you can just start taking a test, and that's going to give you a random selection of questions. You can take a question. One question might be basic care and comfort, one might be OB, one might be fundamentals. So it's really going to be random when you go there. What you can also do is you can come down here and dial down to an area that you're struggling with. For example, if you're struggling with prioritization delegation or pharmacology or cardiac, you can really start to focus in on those categories that you're struggling with the most. And this is where I want you guys to focus. What NPQ does is it helps you find where you're really struggling so you can then start to focus on that. And it lets you see, how other nursing students are doing on those categories. So you can take questions in those areas. You can also take questions on Nclex categories. Then you can see what are the hardest and easiest questions. Out of every question in this bank of questions, what are the very hardest questions? You can click on them. You can start taking those questions, see how you do on those hardest questions. Then there's the easiest questions. So let's say I'm struggling with prioritization delegation. I just click on it. Now I'm taking questions just in prioritization delegation. So I can start practicing, or I can start scrolling through here and looking at all the questions in prioritization delegation. You can see here, based on how users are doing, you'll be able to see how hard or easy a question is. You can see this one here, very hard question. You can see this one here, pretty easy question. Okay, so there's a good mix of hard, easy, medium questions based on how people are doing. So what you can do is you can just start practicing, or you can start taking a specific one. We'll just click start practicing and we'll start taking questions in prioritization delegation. There is a calculator right here. You can use it if you need it. And then you'll notice here, this is select all that apply. About 30% of all the questions in NPQ are select all that apply. Submit my answer. As soon as you submit your answer, you're going to see if you got it right or wrong, and then you're also going to see what the correct answer is. Then you're going to see the rationale. You can see these rationales are going to give you everything you need to know about why that question is wrong. And then you're also going to see here how you stack up against other nurses. So only 22% of people taking this question are getting it right. So I don't have to feel too bad about myself for getting this one wrong. But if you get it right, it helps you know that's an area you're doing well with. So this is an area you need to practice on, Then you can either vote the question up or down. Say you didn't like the question, you can click it down. You can tell us why. We're not like that nursing school professor that says, every question is right no matter what. We want to hear why you didn't like it. If you like it, then you can also click that you liked it. So then you can click next question. You'll stay within the prioritization delegation section, or you can click a random question. From there, you can see here, here's a bunch of the other questions. You can see that this is a really difficult question. 2 people like it. What I want to show you too is up here, you're going to see your overall grade. This is how many questions I've gotten right. I've gotten 0% of the questions right. And then you're going to see your global rank. What this does is it compares you against every student that's part of NPQ. Obviously, if I got 0 right, I'm not going to be number 5. This is the beta version right here. So this will tell you how you compare. Where's your rank against everyone? And then if you click to see full stats, you're going to go back to your user panel at nrsng.com, you're going to see your overall grade. Again, we saw I've gotten 0% right. It's going to tell you how many you've attempted, how many you've gotten correct, your global rank again, and it's going to tell you what your strongest and weakest areas are. So you say, cardiac's my strongest area. I'm doing great in cardiac. My weakest area is respiratory. So you can click on it and start taking respiratory questions right away and really start focusing on those areas. Then you're going to see, look at all these stats we give you here. By every single category, we're going to tell you how you're doing. It's going to tell you how many you've attempted, how many you've gotten right, and you can click on any of these to just start taking a test right away on that. So labs, I've gotten 0% right. I need to take a lab quiz. So that's going to take me right into the lab section where I can start taking lab quizzes. You can also go back to the home area and you can start taking random quizzes just to see how you're doing in every area. And that's really going to give you, I would recommend doing a few of those so you can see, how you're doing in all the different areas. And then I would definitely start focusing in on those areas that you're doing poorly in. Or if you're taking fundamentals right now, take some fundamentals tests. So where the value in nursing practice questions lies is really being able to get that dialed down, focused study and those dialed down, focused results on how you're doing, being able to see where you compare against everybody else, and being able to look question by question, how do you compare against everyone? And then being able to get that feedback. That's where the value really lies, and I want you guys to dig in here. I want you to dive in, take some questions. So go over to nrsng.com, get on nursing practice questions, and start taking some questions.